Welcome back to the email marketing course. My name is Dennis, and in today's module 5 I want to talk about the welcome email sequence. So we'll discuss today the importance of the first email, how to structure it in the best way possible. Also we'll talk about some rules which you better follow, and in the end I'll give you a blueprint for your first email. Also, I want you to note it has nothing to do with copywriting, although copywriting is very important, but it's really not critical as your first email, so we'll talk about it in future episodes. Now I want to talk about why your first email is the most important of all of your emails you will send. First of all, it's high engaging. It will be your most open email, so you really want to use all of this attention to your advantage. Next, it's your first impression. It's the chance to introduce yourself and make a positive and strong first impression. Then it begins to build trust. It's like in a relationship. From the first email, you begin to build trust and credibility with your subscribers. And lastly, it's setting expectation. It lays the foundation for your future interaction with your subscribers, so you really don't want to mess it up. I analyzed the email structure of tons of welcoming emails, and I found 3 recurring components which were presented in the best of them. First is welcoming and thanking your new subscriber. You want to make him feel as comfortable as possible within your list. So to do it, you really should get excited about it. Actually, you have no reason not to get excited and not to share this excitement with your new subscriber. So you should really include it in the beginning of your email. Next is introduction and setting expectation. Personally, what I like to do is to briefly introduce myself, then I'll acknowledge the reason why they might have joined my list, and then I'll set expectation for my future emails. So let's say I'm a video editor business and it will look something like this. Hi, my name is John, whatever. I assume you joined my list because you want to improve your video editing skill. Well, guess what? You came to the right place. I have 6 years of experience and I edited hundreds of thousands of videos, and from now on, every week I'll be sharing and uncovering tips which took me months to learn. As you can see, I not only set expectation, but I actually gave him a reason to open my emails every week. And lastly is to make an offer. There is a bit of misconception around this fact. Like, why would you want to push somebody you barely knows into buying from you straight away? Well, first of all, you ain't no pushing nobody into buying. Second, I want you to imagine one scenario. Let's say you're shopping in a clothing store and then you see someone rushes inside the store with his butt naked. Clearly he's in a desperate need for pants. But when the manager acknowledges him, he slowly greets him, slowly invites him to sit with him in the middle of the store, and then he opens up his notebook and starts to telling the story of his business, why he opened the business, which obstacles he had to overcome. Basically, he's doing anything but selling this man damned pair of pants, which he's in desperately need for. Well, I hope nobody running inside your business butt naked, but you really want to help those people who urgently need your help. So shift your mindset into thinking that not selling your subscribers is actually making them a disservice. So you should really include an offer inside your email. Next, I've got some written in blood rules for your first email. First of all, is sell. As we discussed before, you really want to sell. The first time they're joining your list is the time they're most interested in you and in your product. So sell. Second is to don't whine about it. Be a professional. There is an unexplainable urge in a new email marketers to include the fact that they are just starting out, or I am a beginner, or my copywriting skill sucks. Well, guess what? It will suck. You can't bias your subscriber into thinking it will not suck by telling them it will suck. You're basically making your email perceived bad before they even read it. So don't do it. Next is to make it one-on-one conversation. You want to personalize your email as much as possible. Include their name and write it like you're writing to one of your buddies. Next is clarify and simplify. Don't use inside joke. Don't use jargon. You want to make the language as simple as possible so anyone can understand it. Next is to interact with them. You really don't want to use a do not reply email address or to include do not reply inside your copy. Actually, quite the opposite. You want as many interaction as possible. More interaction leads to more engagement, and then which leads to you to more sales. So really interact with your subscribers. And lastly is to just send the email. Don't let me or anyone else to scare you. Probably you will never be able to construct the perfect email for months and for years. And if you will try to do it, you will not only fail, you will lose tons of money and time. The only way to do it is just to create it right now and improve it along the way. There is a perfect quote which summarizes it perfectly for me. The worst email is the one you haven't sent yet, so just send your email. You might have a question that we're talking about a sequence of welcoming emails, but you're focusing only in your first email. Does only one email is enough? Well, yes and no. Sometimes it's cool to have only one email, but most of the times it is not enough. You can't fit all of the information you want, and you really shouldn't forget about the more suspicious people which wants more information from you before they buy from you. For those people, you really should include a second and even third email. In those emails, you want to introduce yourself more deeply and talk more about their problems. Also, don't forget to include testimonials from including clients. So, as I promised, I created a blueprint for your first email. It will be available for you in the description. I'll show you how you can create your first email and how you can perfectly make it flow inside your second and third email. The only thing required from you is just to change the information to fit it for your business. So let's take a look at that. As promised, this is my blueprint. Actually, I really don't want to run throughout all of this because it's pretty straightforward. You just want to fill your information between those brackets. So it's looking like this. There you have your what should you expect from me points, like your frequency, your community, social media. You can add here your lead magnets, whatever. And in the end, I got for you some tips for your second and third email. So it should be really easy to fill all of this information and just follow its instructions. Back to the slideshow. So to conclude it, I'm a really big believer in not overthinking it. It is important to execute brilliantly, but it is more importantly to just do it. So it's really going well with today's assignment. And today's assignment is just to create your welcoming email sequence and publish everything. So go to the description, copy my docs file, fill in your information and just publish everything.